Mohammadi was arrested in Iran. And apparently she was hospitalized twice after heavy blows, family officials are saying, or family members are saying. Up to 4,000 glaciers could disappear annually by 2055. Glaciers to reach peak rate of extinction in the Alps in 8 years. Peak glacier extinction in the mid 21st century. The world will soon be losing 3,000 glaciers every year, and scientists reveal when the world's glaciers could disappear. And a debate on BBC's future kickstarted by government consultation. So ministers looking at depoliticizing top BBC jobs as Farage rides high in polls. UK launches BBC funding review as broadcaster reels from Trump lawsuit. So the UK ministers are considering ads and subscriptions for the BBC as part of their funding rethink. And new data raises questions about how much the Earth has warmed. And Thailand calls a snap election during a border war, and people are asking what this all means as well. So the Thai prime minister dissolves the parliament to return power to the people. Thailand to go to polls on February 8th, the election commission says. Thailand's Anutin plays military nationalism card to boost electoral hopes. We don't blame dad for killing mom. He was ill. Husband too old to access psychosis help before couple's death. Man suspected of killing wife released too early from the hospital is what is being reported by the BBC. Jeweler who killed wife after struggles during COVID was jailed by NHS. And EU expands its sanctions on Belarus amid balloon incursions. EU tightens sanctions on Belarus after U.S. moves Woo Minsk and everything like that. So the crash on Lakeshore in Jakarta, and how Belarus is using cigarette-stuffed balloons to sow chaos in Lithuania as part of Putin's hybrid war. So balloons from Belarus are causing chaos in Lithuania. Is it smugglers or hybrid attack? These orcas have dolphin sidekicks. Scientists have untangled why. So cooperative foraging between dolphins and fish-eating killer whales is what the scientific reports are saying as well. So killer whales and dolphins seen hunting together in a rare video. So it looks like they're hunting together in a rare alliance. Maybe we can learn from the animals and all along those lines. University students facing cold spots as enrollments are falling. And satellites help tackle landfill methane leaks. So private satellites pinpoint methane emissions from oil, gas, and coal facilities worldwide. Worldwide inference of national methane emissions by inversion of satellite observations with UNFCCC prior estimates. So how satellites can help find and clean up methane super polluters. And Haiti, council lists 3 individuals and 1 entity over gang violence and related crimes. So European Union imposes sanctions on Michel Martelly, Yuri Latorte, Ronnie Selston, and the 5 Second Gang. So it looks like these folks have been sanctioned by Europe, and definitely we'll see what goes on in this sense where they've been blacklisted. India is proposing trade deals to counter sharp tariff hikes by Mexico, and Mexico approves 50% tariffs on many Chinese imports. So that's something that people are talking about as well. And ICC rejects Israel bid to block Gaza war crime investigation. ICC rejects Israeli bid to halt Gaza war probe. Netanyahu arrest warrant remains. And reform attacks on hiring diverse workers slammed as labor makes vow to women. UK launches task force to break down barriers to women in tech. Gender diversity improvements could be the key to tackling the UK's AI skill shortage. And DMU academics join new government task force to break down barriers for women in technology. And definitely, even The Guardian is saying why universal basic income still can't meet the challenges of an AI economy and all along those lines. So I'll bring in Dr. Sharif. Nick might join us as well. There's a lot going on, even more in the world. As Britain will spend $120 million on new lasers to take out drones, and NMITE and the British Army share plans to launch an undergraduate degree in autonomous systems. So a new degree in Hereford will train drone warfare specialists, and this looks like this could be a rapid 140-pound million boost for drone and counter-drone technology from the newly formed UK Defence Innovation. So it looks like they're going to be training people in how to use AI, and it looks like China, which isn't that far from where you are, Dr. Sharif, is on track for a massive population decline. So, tackling the age crisis at the center of China's modernization plan. So, China is set to lose a population the size of California in 10 years. So, it looks like China might be losing a lot of folks, even though we know that they've got a lot of folks, and they're also investing billions in Latin America, potentially sidelining U.S. farmers. So, what's our take on China's role in the economy and in the world?
China doing fantastic job, specifically in terms of location. They are in South Asia, and according to Adam Smith, if you see this economical improvement and development, uh, what I call Belt Road 1.0, you can see this western part of China, Egypt, as well as the Bongo, where I live right now. It was one of the richest communities in the world. So after that, when the British colony they come to the Asia, then this economical revolutions and everything go to Europe. From Europe, it's moved to USA, and definitely they do focus on more on intellectual development, knowledge economy development, lot of innovations and other things. Right now, North America playing a major role for economic and modern science, engineering, and technology innovations and other things. But if you go to the second economic revolutions in Asia, what is happening right now, Silk Route 2.0, and in the Silk Route 2.0, China actually playing a major role through this Asia, Africa, and in these communities. Definitely, they do focus on Australia, even they have investment in USA. Even USA heavily criticized China loan, but USA is one of the country who is actually take most loan from China. They are actually one of the lender from Chinese bank and everything, but they heavily criticize Chinese. So country like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and all of the emerging economies, they heavily engage with this Belt and Road Initiative. So this Belt and Road Initiative, as China focusing on emerging economy, let's say when Trump go with this tariff and immigration issues, China go with open for Africa, and they do not impose any tax or tariff with Africa. Also, when USA go for this immigrations barrier, that time China also open for the talent people to invite in their economy. So China actually playing a interesting movement with that particular reason. But why is the fact? Specifically, I always say that USA create a huge impact with their culture, with their democratic cultures, with their Hollywood, with their social media, with their open society thought and everything. They actually create a huge impact. Here is the barrier for China. You know, China actually like a very close-ended cultural society. Even I teach Chinese institutions and university long time, and I know that even Chinese people and people, they want to be American. They love American culture. So this is one of the things. I write a new book. It's called Silk Road 3.0. So how it will happen? Because of the population, because of the economical diversification and other things, Asia playing a major role right now. South Asia, China, this Asia Pacific, even Africa, they are playing a very positive growth with these economical things. So definitely, I believe that with this cultural interaction, what USA has with their democratic movement, political institutions, with their open society, with their social media platforms and everything, when we move with these economical resources from Asia Pacific and USA cultural things, it give us more mature level of economical transformations and social transformation. So I write a book, it's called Silk Route 3.0. So it's based on my imaginations, maybe futuristic thoughts. And even when I started this talent economy, and I discuss about the youth can go for politics, youth can go for economic revolutions, everybody laugh at me. But it's happening, even though youth are sacrificing their life and other things. So I believe the Silk Route 3.0, with the help of Global North, and this Chinese revolutions or economic revolutions, we may see the new economical condition for this world. We may see the new technological revolution for this world. Even we can see the new political formation of this world, what it called technocracy and other thing. That Singapore is a very good model for technocracy. So hope for the best. Hopefully, the populations, those who have lot of wealth, those who have lot of resources, they understand the growth of emerging economy and they understand the growth of youth populations. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, Nick, I see you joined us and everything like that. How are you doing? And all along those lines, I did have a legal question for you. How much should we be, and maybe Toby wants to jump in this as well, be trying to control other people's morals and politics? Because the Journal of Medical Ethics defended female genital mutilation, which we know is common in some Asian and African countries, and they're saying laws banning FGM are harmful and stigmatizing, according to academics, and the medical journals are attempting to minimize what some people are saying is a abhorrent practice, but it is practiced in various parts of the world, and they have different ritual reasons for doing it. So I was just wondering how much we'd be trying to regulate what people's belief systems are, or should we be following what the Journal of Medical Ethics are when they are defending these practices?
Wow, that's a curveball question that has probably some very difficult answers. Saying, should the state or the federal government be involved in things like genital mutilation laws? Good question. I'll defer that to Jatovi because he's an expert on everything, and he might be an expert on genital mutilations. It's not an area that I practice in. So Jatovi, floor is yours.
I didn't even think about the question or hear the question because I was focused.
Repeat the question, Mark. This is a case of first impression. And frankly, on anything that I've ever seen. So,
well, I mean, I remember even seeing a movie where there were various countries that have been doing female genital mutilations as part of their rituals and everything like that in the Journal of Medical Ethics. According to the Telegraph, which I think is a British paper, was defending those practices, and basically, I think saying that even though some people find those practices abhorrent and everything, that laws banning them can be harmful and stigmatizing. So they seem like they are understanding that sometimes they are part of a greater ritual system and are trying to back off people's beliefs and trying to get people away from that and everything like that. And like I said, different people have different reasons for doing them. It might be religious, it might be cultural, it might be a variety of reasons. I do remember seeing a documentary about it maybe about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and it did look like it's a very difficult process and everything like that. But it does one that is practiced in various parts of the world. So I don't even know if Dr. Sharif has some thoughts around whether we need to be trying to control other people's morals in other parts of the world.
Jatovi's silent.
I mean, I don't know where we want to go with this conversation because, I mean, talking about general mutilization, that's something that I don't think any of us here really wants to touch. Hence the reason why Nick ran away from it quickly, pulled the parachute, and hey, you talk about it. So I don't think really anybody wants to talk about general mutilization. Yes, it's a cultural thing in some places, but I think everyone here can agree we're all against it.
Right.
So it's just it'd be a tough topic to actually discuss.
Well, I can try to bring some people in that might have better understanding of the reasons that they do it in the various countries. Maybe even the documentary filmmaker, if I can remember who that was, that did a entire film on it. But yeah, that was just one of the stories that came out of the news and everything along those lines. And even, I mean, there's a lot of very difficult stories, including child soldiers and everything like that, because apparently there was another article about the Sweden's criminal gangs, and they're saying that child soldiers are ready to kill, and their assignments are actually shared on social media. And definitely they're saying ready to murder, how criminal network in Sweden is recruiting children to kill and everything like that. So we got people doing stuff in what's supposed to be, in my mind, a country that has always been very peaceful and very neutral, but apparently maybe not with the crime gangs that are there and everything along those lines. But definitely that's something that was on the news as well. And then we got a presidential message on Hanukkah, and apparently Trump extends the warmest greetings on Hanukkah, a joyous season of reflection and hope and everything.
So we're just gonna gloss over and do random news instead of actually bigger news. Like, well, I'm just pointing. I mean, we've got happy news where we could have learned a little. We can learn a little bit more about Victory Day because that is what's being celebrated in Bangladesh right now, and they just broke a world record with the amount of flag parachutes that were coming down. I shared that. That'd be kind of cool to talk about because we're going general mutilization to child soldiers, and it becomes a redundancy thing and less positive. Because we can go to the negative because you went straight to the Hanukkah message, which ignores which kind of glosses over the fact where he's in deep crap for his comments made less than 7 hours after a man was brutally murdered. We can talk about Donald Trump on that one.
Yeah, Donald Trump actually made the statement that
and then
Rob Reiner was suffering from what is it called, Trump derangement syndrome, and didn't really want to go into a positive. And matter of fact, one of a Republican senator or congressperson that I was watching on the news actually said that a wise man knows when to be quiet, and all along those lines. I forgot which one it was.
Well, then he doubled down on it when he was asked in an interview live on TV, and that was also dealing with the mass shooting where he said things happen. So his comments, I don't know if we should start really looking at his comments as positive anymore when we haven't even dealt with the negative things that he said. And that's where the tarnish is starting to fall off on what Donald Trump is saying. And a lot of people are starting to be upset at that. And it's becoming tiresome because a broken clock can be right once or twice a day. So when Donald Trump says something nice, we're glorifying it. But when he's saying the millions of things all over that are all bad and all the things that he's doing, for example, with the healthcare industry, with the all this other stuff. So, I mean, I think that was just big, those things and what's going on in Australia, how people in the US are trying to politicize the shooting in Australia. Oh, gun rights and gun rights. No, let's not politicize and normalize, because Australia is actually, the prime minister is putting in stricter gun laws and actually focusing on actually healing and fixing the community. Also, we should celebrate the Muslim individual who saved the day in a way, even though the what's going to come out of it, because I think it was the investigator said that the extreme beliefs are what caused it, and a lot of people are going to take that nugget rather than think about, okay, it was this man who was also Muslim who actually saved a lot of individuals that were there. So there's some different things.
There's some good stories we can cover, including the Canadian citizenship law that I know that Nick has gone over to Spain, but apparently I wish Sasha was here. There are new citizenship rules for Canadians born or adopted abroad that are now in effect. So they passed yesterday Bill C-3, which is giving many a clear path to Canadian citizenship. They're saying that this effect is now in effect for quote unquote lost Canadians, and it makes it easier for children born or adopted abroad to become Canadian citizens. So while we're pushing our citizens away, they might be finding ways to bring more citizens into the country and all along those lines. So I don't know if any of us are considering going to Canada under their newer rules and everything along those lines. Because I know you've got family, Jacoby, that's got Canadian ties. I've actually got family with Canadian ties as well. Got a cousin that lives there with his now ex-wife, but his kids and he are up there, as well as the ex-wife, because she was of Canadian descent. But he still stayed up there and is part of the Native American culture and has his own company, Red Eye Supply, that supplies Native American various things, whether it's belts or whether it's clothes or other things that he creates and designs himself.
I mean, the whole world is opening up.
Just a couple of comments.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. I was hoping that they would make immigration a lot easier, since I'm going to Turkey. And I'm not sure if I have to get a visa or not because I have a NIE card in the EU, and then if you have one, you don't need one. But if you have an American passport, you need one. So they make immigration, we're just moving from country to country confusing, which is one reason I like the EU, because I can get around with no problem. Now, Jacoby, you're talking about the Muslim, a person who saved the day in Australia. Okay, it's worse than you think. What right-wing media did is just abominable. They said he was a Christian. It's on X, Twitter, or now called X, whatever it is. Twitter is like a drove of misinformation. I have to fact check every one of the things that come out of Elon Musk's mouth or his mouthpiece. I can't believe how bad X is. In other words, they don't even come close to the truth. They just make it up and they stick it out there. And I got really tired of having to go to X. It makes a fun story, but it's complete fiction. In other words, I might as well watch Stranger Things because X is a complete fiction social media broadcasting.
Well, X got issues. Speaking of X and their issues,
that's why.
And by the way, we broadcast through X. Okay,
so there was a question I think you had asked yesterday, Nick, talking about. No, I don't think was it you yesterday. Somebody had asked if a vice president, if AI would be good to be used.
Dr. Sharif.
Yeah, it was Dr. Sharif. Well, Grok is a prime example of why that wouldn't work, because everything Nick was saying about how Twitter is going bad is Twitter, the freedom, the free speech or whatever. Well, when the doors got opened for when Musk took it back over, there was a spike in anti-Semitism, there was a spike in racism, so on and so forth. All the isms took off because what Musk did was he allowed that platform to become another 4chan. Well, then once you throw Grok, which is your AI, and it's aggregating all that information and actually basically creating a character based off of all that information, that's why Grok became like a miniature Hitler and everything else. So when it's all in where it's grabbing its information. And the Google Dreams tried to create these beautiful paintings way back when. Well, it created images of death and destruction. So it's pulling from the internet and all these searches. And so that, I guess, is an example of why it would be tough, because yes, Nick, Twitter is a cesspool.
It's amazing. It's a cesspool of misinformation. I mean, if it was close, I would be happy, but it's not even close to Toby. They should put a warning sign underneath on all the X, or I call it Twitter because that's really what it is. That information you receive here may not be true. Please fact check everything that you see. I mean, they really need to put a disclaimer on it. It is that bad. It's worse than Facebook. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. In other words, they make things up, stories, and they throw them out there as if they were true, and they're not even close.
Well, I had an interesting conversation yesterday. I had an interesting conversation yesterday.
Not too far.
No, but along those same lines, Nick, I had an interesting conversation yesterday with one of our agents that provide some of our guests and all along those lines. So I was talking to Harlan Ball, who has provided some of the guests, and he may be providing the sometime in January, the other person that was involved with the Nicole Simpson OJ case and everything like that, which was the boyfriend of Nicole, because he reached out to me, and then I said that we might be interested in having him, I think, in early part of January. But when I was talking to him about different guests, he might also provide us Morgan Fairchild in next year as well, the well-known actress and everything along those lines. Yeah. But he was telling me that when he talks to his actors and their agents, when they hear that some of the platforms we're on, certain platforms, he said, are an automatic no. Among those platforms were Facebook and YouTube, because he said that a lot of times people do not like Facebook and YouTube because they don't take them seriously. So I have to, when I talk to him, tell him about some of our other platforms that we go to, like Roku, seen as a legitimate source, and Amazon Fire, and other things. But he's specific last night.
We have our own channel on Roku, so we broadcast on our own channel. We have our own channel on Amazon, so we
And that's what
broadcast.
you were saying to your point that a lot of people are frustrated by the Facebooks and the YouTube. So whenever he asked me where we went to, and when I mentioned Facebook and YouTube, he was like, if I tell him that, that's an automatic no.
One of the most accurate websites is actually LinkedIn. They do an excellent job, as good as you can, to monitor and make sure things are as close to possibly true. And it may be just because it's a very business community. Speaking of LinkedIn, Mark, the number one topic, number one show that I saw on LinkedIn, because I get a weekly report about Pod TV, is the healthcare issues. And so apparently in the United States, the biggest issue right now that's dominating, and it's even dominating our office, is the healthcare, because no one knows, are the subsidies going to take place? They're not going to take place. What's the cost of healthcare going to be? The average cost in the United States, Dr. Sharif, you'll love this. It's like per person, it's $14,750 a year. Can you imagine if we went to Bangladesh and you said, okay, everybody here, cough up 14,000. What's that for? It's your healthcare cost for the year. No, they couldn't afford it. I mean, it's the highest in the world. I mean, it's second place is half that and then some. So one of the biggest issues right now that's dominating, at least the LinkedIn social media, is healthcare and healthcare cost, because people, and it's really paid for by the employer. Okay, so it's an employer burden cost. And so what happens if you own a business like we do? It's been the number one topic. It was the number one topic for every year. I don't run the company in Utah anymore, but Max has to deal with it, my business partner. And it's like it's a really, really big problem in the U.S. because the healthcare in the U.S. is so bloody expensive. It's almost like unaffordable.
It's expensive across the board because, Nick, it's expensive across the board, because we actually had our staff meeting in my nonprofit that I work with as well. And that was one of the topics that was coming up, was making sure that people had their insurance up to date and all along those lines, because even in the nonprofit world, it is not inexpensive, and you have to make sure that it's up to date. But a lot of times people can afford it and everything like that. I was actually, I think I mentioned this on one of our other shows, talking to a teacher over the weekend, and she was having to live many miles away because she couldn't afford the housing, which is another popular topic as well in our city or in adjacent cities. So she was actually living out toward Burlington, and another one was living up toward the rural area of Henderson and everything, because they are not making enough money as teachers, even though that's one of the important professions and everything, to actually afford the rents that are here. And they're not New York prices, but they're not inexpensive either and everything like that. So definitely that's something that folks are concerned about. I did have a question for both of you and Jacoby, since I know y'all are into interested in innovations, and this actually comes from the world of the military and everything. But there is a certain bug that people cannot stand. That most apartment complexes try to make sure that you don't have them in your apartment complex and everything. But apparently they might be part of the spy game. So y'all ready for this? And this was an article that came out not that long ago in 60 Minutes. But it sounds like the future of spy bugs may actually be a bug. So they're saying that the Madagascar hissing cockroach swarm biotech, a German startup, is working to fit cockroaches with tiny backpacks that can carry cameras, microphones, and a Doppler radar. So the species is small enough to fit almost anywhere and resilient enough to survive environments that can be dangerous to people, is what their CEO, Stefan Wilhelm, said. So millions of years of evolution actually produced a very resilient, a very mobile, and a very capable insect. So we might be having cockroaches literally as a form of weaponry. So what is our thoughts about that? Because most people that I know can't stand those animals and everything, but apparently they're going to be used as a major military outlet.
Well, what a great form of innovation. I mean, who would have thought of that, having insects be weaponized to gather information, Mark? I mean, I don't care if they come in my house. I think that's interesting. But
that's been in movies and video games for decades. Black Mirror did a whole episode about bees being utilized as bugs. There are video games, tons of them that are about that. But I mean, the technology, I mean, I think they've been trying to strap microchips to the back of honeybees for a while, and so the technology just grows and grows and grows. Yeah, you have Nanobots.
Mhm.
That's what it is. They've got nanobots that are supposed to go, that are used in medicine right now, that are supposed to attack different sicknesses. Well, that are in trial to. I don't know if they're out yet, but nanobots.
They're saying this first large deployment of swarms of cockroaches could be out in 18 to 24 months. So that's in a year and a half to 2 years. So they might be spying on you more than you think that they are and everything like that, because they're saying that they could be out in a year and a half to 2 years.
Oh, good. Something to look forward to. Hey, speaking of which, Dr. Sharif, you're doing a series of seminars coming up for the World Talent Economic Forum, or are they courses, or what's going on in January?
Oh, yeah. Basically, we do focus on few courses. I told you that with California Institute of Management and St. Edward University, we developed climate leadership program. Also, Japan, UN University working with us. Secondly, from my World Talent Economic Forum, so you are also part of this mentorship program. We are inviting a lot of mentors from around the world, even from Africa, from South Asia. They're even from your USA and Europe. They are joining in our ecosystem to develop themselves as a CEO development program. And generative AI is very common because specifically, if you see in South Asian market, AI infrastructure is developing, heavily improving this AI infrastructure. So every corporation, they want to focus on this artificial intelligence. So I want to invite you all as a mentors, and we are doing this kind of training program, because capacity building is very important, honestly speaking. How I see this world, if you cannot improve the capacity of the human resources, you cannot do the new things. You cannot go for new innovation. You cannot go for new infrastructure development. And it's for everyone, the politicians, it's for corporate person, it's for government agencies. Everyone has to involve with these things. So far, we are engaging with 10,000 people from around the world, and we go for head-to-head discussions, and we organize the academy. I think this will be very interesting collaborations for Pod TV, because this way, beside your TV shows, you can really engage with the people. And I'm very much blessed with a lot of people engaging in this ecosystem, and they are supporting our initiative. And if you have your network who want to build up their capacity and everything, we can work together, then we can grow together.
Yeah,
And
Dr. Sharif, have you thought about doing that online? Because as Nick knows, we are 2 years in a row, one in person and one that was strictly online. We had the social workers. It was actually mostly no, there was a mixture of social workers. They weren't even all Black social workers. I was trying to remember what their race was, but they did a conference that was online and aired part of it on Pod TV, because I actually helped produce it and everything like that. So I just didn't know if part of this conference has the potential to be online as maybe even a special or all along those lines, because I know we did the social workers wealth conference last year and the year before and everything like that, and we still air some of their commercials on the network regularly. That's actually where that Stacy Chips commercial comes special comes from and everything like that. So I just wondered, is that a possibility that it could be aired on the network?
yeah, sure, this is very interesting opportunity I want to take. And beside that, I finished my PhD and postdoctorate with the Paris Graduate School, and I'm working as a professor for them. And we are launching 12 conference, pure academic conference. And as we publish a lot of book already, our institution published 15 scientific book, and around 80 university right now, they are our partners, and we provide go for all of the scientific innovations. Very interesting things you can find. Let's say our agriculture, let's say our culture, our economic reformations, our leadership pattern, our healthcare system, what you're discussing, our educational system. Many interesting outcome you can find, because country like Bangladesh, we are not very much focused on this, our research and publishing papers and uplifting the human life, understand these things. So I'm trying to develop this culture. Beside this dialogue, beside this show, I'm trying to develop this culture, and I'm getting very good response. So That's why many political persons even they communicate with me and they said, hey, I see your Monday show, David Walker shows, why don't we do it in Bangladesh? So I say, hey, you can invite Nick, Jatovi, David Walkers and everyone in our countries. I'm thinking they are taking preparations to invite you all in Bangladesh because our country top levels politicians they engage with us to make some progress and improvement, and they are big fan of our Monday shows, Honorable David Walker show, because economics and politics they move together. So yeah, so a lot of progress. I think Nick, you have a lot of friends in Bangladesh. They're
So hopefully you can go.
Yeah, I was going to say you may want to reach out to Dan Fleetwood. I don't, have you had him on your show before? He's a professor at Vanderbilt. He's on our test show every week, and you can actually, he has a Wikipedia page because he was the chair of the electrical engineering computer science at Vanderbilt University, which is a top university in the United States. But he's on every week on our chess show. You may want to reach out to him. And Ken Reagan's on also. He's a professor at State University of New York in Buffalo. And he's like one of the top computer chess people in the world, literally. But they may be willing to participate in the January forum that you have.
yes.
You have 2 more U.S. people.
That'd be great.
Now, I want to respect US people because I always share these things, how you engage with the community. Let's say, even in our World Talent Economic Forum, many people you find from USA, right? I love how they respond, how they take actions. Our country, if you are in top level, let's say you are in your age, they're very lazy. You cannot open their door. But I love US people because even though they are in your age and in the top levels of, like, they are professor or they are chairman or they are in the top level of the government, I really love how you respond, how you engage with this work, how you love your work. That is the things I share with my students. That, hey, you always say that US people are hardworking. US people are smart, and US people always take actions. So I love and I want to respect you all, how you work and how you contribute for this world. Yeah.
Appreciate that and everything like that. Hey, this is for both you and Jatovi, and it comes to something we talk about maybe a little bit too much, and every other thing along those lines, which is the race relations, as I know Shaquille used to teach me about that. But I did see an interesting story, and I'm going to come back to the bugs and everything, but there was an article in the Free Press that says the online right doesn't want white women to get PhDs. And there was actually an article where a woman was studying bugs, and she was told that she was a race traitor because she was studying bugs instead of having babies and everything like that. It became, to your point about Twitter, a whole Twitter argument and everything like that. So apparently this woman, Juliet Turner, has a fascination there in the UK with leafcutter ants and other animals that are small, and she's 27 and everything like that. So she's trying to study these small animals, their building habits, their society habits, and then she posted about it on X, and things got very dark very quickly, is what the article said, and everything like that. Almost immediately, Julia found herself at the center of a kind of a misogynistic abuse campaign, and definitely said person said their eggs aren't getting any younger. Said one user, just look at the degree on that chick. No man ever said a manosphere influencer with more than 225,000 followers. So I guess he got that many followers. He figures he can say whatever he wants to. And he said you were 30 years old, even though she's actually 27, with no husband or kids, a genetic get-in and an unbroken line of succession from your ancestors since the beginning of time. So apparently a lot of these influencers are taking advantage of their influence to say whatever they feel like about these people that might be doing some great work.
Well, it's on X, right? Or
it's on
Twitter.
It was on Twitter.
Yeah, right? that doesn't surprise me. You know, if you get negative stuff there, like I said, that is the wild, wild west of misinformation. It's too bad they don't rank social media sites. I would rank that near the bottom in terms of social media sites, in terms of accuracy. Mark, I mean, it's worse than MSNBC or CNN. They're just because, frankly, anybody can post. That's problem number one. Number two is they make up the facts as they stick it on there. So every time you
Well,
look
they
at it,
go
you
to
got to
make a
go
defense,
fact
but
check.
they also feel that they can say whatever they want to. Because even Juliet said she was shocked. She said, "I never thought that a simple post about my Viva would be contentious." And she says that's the
Right.
Viva is the letter, the interview that they got to do in order to prove that they deserve their doctorate and everything like that. And all she was doing was trying to get her information out so that she could get her
Yeah,
PhD.
yeah, right. Just studying bugs. I mean, but X is definitely not the place to post anything on. I think if you want a good response, LinkedIn is the best. I mean, I would post on LinkedIn, and we've been broadcasting LinkedIn for 5 years, and it's a very professional, for the most part, very professional business community. Gosh, Twitter would be ranked toward the bottom, and of course, with Roku and Amazon, we have our own channel, so we don't have interaction. It's just a one-way street. The other ones,
Guardian had an interesting article to your same point. It says that it's the media's job, and that's what when I brought up yesterday, the fourth estate, to hold power to account. And this year, too many got into bed with it instead. So they're figuring that too many of the media people got into bed with the powers versus holding it into account. Not just
that's not media. That's fiction. I mean, the thing is, if you look at X or you look at Twitter, it's not media. It's not reporting. It's not facts. It's fiction. I've been watching Stranger Things, and I like it. I think it's a great fiction show, but it's fiction. It has nothing to do with reality. And so the thing is, it would be fine if they had a disclaimer at the top. Most of the information you see here, not even close, is fiction. Please enjoy it. Okay. And then I'd be fine with it. But the problem is it misleads people to believe that they are a news site or that the people are posting accurate information. I'm shocked that lawyers haven't sued the site. There was a law firm who recently sued another group in Florida because of misinformation that they were posting, and I'm going I'm shocked that there's not a big class action suit for misinformation, saying, purporting to be a news site or a social media site. However, here's part of the reason they don't sue. All those sites got a federal exemption from lawsuits. I don't know if you know that, including us. Okay, they went to Congress so that they could not be sued, making it very difficult for anyone to obtain a class action suit against Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, all the social media sites. A federal exemption, if you can imagine that. So hence, there's nothing stopping from continuing their deluge of misinformation and storytelling, except people like us, Mark. We can Twitter and tell
I had a
people.
lighter story because I know Jacoby loves my lighter stories, but it does involve a sad note and everything along those lines. And I'm going to admit it, I did watch it way back when I was in college and all along those lines. It was probably too young for Dr. Sharif and everything like that, but we did lose another legend of television and everything like that, and that was the gentleman that played Luke. And yes, when I was in college, I did watch some of the Luke and Laura wedding and all of that stuff that was there on the General Hospital and everything like that. So, Jacoby, did you watch that too as a youngster? Because I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and they remembered there being a whole bunch of people in the central dorm rooms and even in the Central Student Union watching that famous incident in the 80s and everything like that. And he did just recently pass away, the gentleman that played, I think it's Anthony Gerard, if I remember his name correctly, but the gentleman that played Luke and everything like that. So did you watch that when you were in college and everything? Because I know a lot of people, including men, even though it was supposed to be more of a women thing, were watching the whole notion of soap operas and all along those lines. So were you one of those folks that were watching that infamous, or not infamous, famous scene and all along those lines?
In soap operas?
Yeah, soap operas like General Hospital. The guy that played Luke passed away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry he passed away. I wasn't big into soap operas.
I didn't watch soap operas either.
It just wasn't my thing. I mean, my family was. My family was into it. Soap operas just wasn't my thing.
Yeah,
fair enough. Like I said, I just knew that was a big thing that a lot of people were watching, even in the 80s and everything like that. And it was probably past the age of, I don't know whether they even are big on soap operas in Bangladesh. You have to tell me, but I know that
I don't even know what they watch in Bangladesh. What are they watching in your neck of the woods, Dr. Shree? Do you get Stranger Things and over there? I don't know.
Uh,
Are there
Our-
Bangladesh versions of
Netflix.
soap operas? Maybe that's the first question. Are there
Yes,
Bangladesh versions of
soap
soap
operas. Yeah,
operas?
good question.
yeah, what's your question, Mark?
Are there Bangladesh versions of soap operas, like those daytime serials where there are entire storylines, kind of like Dynasty or Falcon Crest if you want to go nighttime, but in the daytime it would have been like General Hospital, All My Children, shows like that. So are there daytime versions of soap operas in Bangladesh?
Yes, we have. We have this kind of activities and initiative in Bangladesh. Yeah, but I want to share another interesting things because today we have our Victory Day.
Please tell us about that. As you told me, mentioned that earlier.
Day, and Jatavi already mentioned about that, and I mentioned my friends and our politicals. Let's say one of the person, Mr. His name also Sharif, and right now he's in coma and he's in Singapore hospital right now, General Hospital. But what Jatavi said that 54 paratrooper they actually drive in the sky of Bangladesh, and they took Mr. Hadi or my friend's pictures in their head, and this is the respect of the of his contribution. So I believe this is a interesting moment for all of our developments. I think we need to work hard to make a better world. That is my request. Yeah, thank you everyone, and happy Victory Day from Bangladesh.
That is Victory Day. It's also, as I said earlier, and I do have family members that are part of that society. It's also Hanukkah that'll be going on for, I think this is day 2 or day 3 of a 10 or 11 day celebration, if memory is serving me correctly, and it might not be, but it is Hanukkah, which is also supposed to be about peace and everything. And sometimes people misunderstand what Kwanzaa is about, but that's supposed to be about a lot of unity factors as well. And that'll be coming up the day after Christmas. So the first day of Kwanzaa will be on the not this Friday, but the following Friday, the 26th. Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah, appreciate you talking about that, because that is important and everything along those lines and everything in that space. What's going on entertainment wise, Jacoby, and everything? I know in about 5 minutes we got the Ukraine, Russia, China show, and we'll find out from Sasha what's going on with Zelensky and this war, and whether it's going to come to an end anytime soon, because I know he's got his folks on that'll be on at 11 o'clock and everything like that. So what's going on in the world of entertainment? Other than Stranger Things, which apparently is a
in the world of I mean, right now the world is still mourning the death.
Go ahead.
I mean, Stranger Things starts back up on the 25th. First final part of the season has already started. The world's still mourning the death of Rob Reiner because of that tragic situation. He and his wife, they had such an impact on the entertainment world. And not just in the U.S. but globally, because of everything they put together. Still one of my favorite movies. Still The Princess Bride. Love it to death. That's one of the best movies ever. I don't want to see a remake of it, but yes, that was one of the greatest movies. My favorite. And so yeah, the world is still mourning the death of Rob Reiner and his wife.
And one of the greatest scenes is when Harry met Sally. That fake orgasm was hilarious.
His mom gave one of the biggest gave one of the best lines too. So, it's so the world's still mourning that. There's also Disney putting the Doomsday trailer, the first of the 4 trailers, behind a paywall. So you got to go see Avatar: Fire and Ash if you want to see the Doomsday trailer, which everybody's wanting to see, because everybody's curious to see how they're going to connect Endgame directly to Doomsday, because that's supposed to be the pattern. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I
understand Oedipus is doing really well and everything like that. I think it was released in California. I was watching one of the late nights, and they had the actress that plays on that I think was married to Gary Oldman at one point before Penny Marshall, and I'm trying to remember the actress's name, but she was saying that Dame Judi Dench is apparently a major prankster, because after she had her baby many years ago and everything like that, she was simulating like she was being taken from back, and anybody knows sex and porn will know what that means and everything, and basically made her lose her sense of body control because she was too busy laughing and everything like that. So she was saying that apparently Dame Judy Chance is a major prankster and everything like that. So that was interesting and all
I
in
think
that way.
Steve wanted to say something. He just,
And I
I
was
think
trying to
Steve
get
wanted to say something.
And I'm trying to
But
get
he
to
ended
he
up
was trying to
leaving once he jumped to porn.
Yeah.
He left right when you started talking about porn.
it wasn't, and it was really just a simulation, so it wasn't true porn and everything like that. But it was an interesting thing. It was either Colbert or one of the other late night shows that the young lady, the actress with Oedipus, was talking about. Because apparently there's a new version of Oedipus that is talking about what the Oedipus complex is, but it's a modern day version of the Oedipus story and everything like that. So that is out there now and everything like that.
I guess since we're coming to the close on a happy note, everybody watch Man vs. Baby. That's a cute little, yes, it's dealing with, I guess, the holidays and Christmas and stuff. But, I don't think it goes down the religious route, but it's just a fun, lighthearted movie. And we all need to smile sometimes, especially in days like, because, things weigh heavily on people. Why? Watch Man vs. Baby. It's Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson is one of my favorite actors because he's a comedic genius. He doesn't get enough recognition. He's Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is great. I love Mr. Bean. But everybody left us, Dr. Sharif. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Thank you for today's show.
Yes. Happy Victory Day.
Happy Victory Day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I guess I'm going to leave the room. I guess they'll come back and turn it off. All right. See you, Dr. Sharif. I am going to call you, but just been busy trying to line up I got to get some other things lined up. But yes, you're on my list to call. So yeah.
Okay.
Gotta get
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.